hello, long time no talk. I'm so sorry it took me so long to make a new video now. I've just been really busy and I just haven't gotten around to it. Like I said in the last video, I am much of a procrastinator. So, so like I said in the last video, I was reading Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. Okay, so another reason why I didn't post a video for such a long time, it's been 2 weeks I think, is because this book it was really slow read to me, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. Before I start, I just wanted to say what the schedule is going to kind of be like on this channel, like when I'm going to be posting my videos, because I didn't make that clear in my last video. So clearly, me making a video at once a week isn't going to work for me. Like, I'm just really busy right now with schoolwork and everything, and I was hoping to do one like every weekend around whatever time, but basically I think what I'm just going to do from now on is I'm going to just post a video whenever I finish a book, or like I'm not always going to be doing book reviews. Like, I'll be doing like specific questions I have about the literary world and stuff like that, and random thoughts that I have about books. You will be seeing me, just not as often as I hoped, but let's get this started. Okay, so Under the Never Sky. I'm not really good at giving summaries of books just because I usually give too much away. So I'm not going to be doing my summary, I'm going to be doing the Goodreads summary, which is a lot better than I would have said it. Alright, so here we go. Worlds kept them apart, destiny brought them together. Arya has lived her whole life in the protective dome of Reverie. Her entire world confined in its spaces, she's never thought to dream of what lies beyond its doors. So when her mother goes missing, Arya knows her chance of surviving in the outer wasteland long enough to find her are slim. Then Arya meets an outsider named Perry. He's searching for someone too. He's also wild, a savage, but might be her best hope at staying alive. If they can survive, they are each other's best hopes for finding answers. So that was the Goodreads summary of Under the Never Sky. So what I'm basically going to be doing is, first I'm going to be doing a book review with no spoilers at all for anybody who has not read the book, and then after I do that review, I'm going to move on and do like a book talk talking about specific parts in the books for whoever wants to talk about them with me too, because I've got lots to say about this book. So like I said before, Under the Never Sky, it was really slow paced for me. It's not that it was a bad book. It was a really interesting kind of plot, really. Like the fact that it is lots and lots of years in the future, and it's come to the point where we're not even human anymore, I guess you could say, like in the sense of when the people moved into pods, because after these aether storms came, they're called the aether. It's like electric storms, I guess you could say. After they came and it was destroying all life forms everywhere, the people around the world divided into two parts. There are the dwellers and the savages, or not the savages, the outsiders you can say, but the dwellers call them the savages, and then the savages call the dwellers the moles, because they don't mesh well together, they don't like each other. I really still don't know what the battle is. I mean, let's live in harmony, peace around the world. Come on, people. One of our main characters, Arya, she is a dweller and she's lived in the pods her whole life. But then later on, things happen and she is banished and she is sent to the outside where she has never wanted to be, ever. It's just such a scary place because there are rumors in the pods that the outside world, the outsiders, are cannibals and they carry diseases and they're savages, and in the aether storms can kill you, and it's a scary place. And so anyway, when she comes out there, we meet our next main character, which is Perry, and he is an outsider also. I really like the world building in that aspect of this kind of futuristic world where it's not only just a futuristic and dystopian, it's science fictional like kind of, because of certain things in the story. The plot was one of the main things I liked in the world. But other than that, I thought the pacing was really slow. It didn't really get interesting until like the last 100 pages for me, kind of. I wasn't really getting into it. I especially wasn't invested in the characters, and that just upset me so much because I really want to be invested in the characters. I want to know about them. I want to get emotionally detached, even though it's unhealthy for my well-being. I usually do. But for this one, I really didn't get attached to the characters of Arya or Perry. They just didn't. I don't think there was enough development in their characters before they met later on in the book. I didn't really get attached to any characters in particular, which is upsetting and unsatisfying. But it's still a good read. Like, I of course, even though that it was slow, I'm going to read the next book, which is Through the Evernight. So character development really wasn't that grand. And other than that, the writing style I think was okay. It was just really boring to me, and there wasn't, like I said, there wasn't a lot of world building in the sense that we don't know what happened before Arya and Perry met, and before Arya got outside of her world. We wanted to know her relationships with the people that were inside the pods before she went outside, or that's just how I felt. And it was unsatisfying in a way. I just really wanted to know that aspect of it because I didn't really feel like I got to know their characters that well, and they didn't really mention any of Arya's past except that point with her and her mother. But other than all these flaws that I keep saying, I know I'm sounding very negative. It still was a really good read and a good story, and I still really enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm gonna read the next book. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna give this book 3.5 stars, just because of how slow paced it was and how long it took me to get through it. And like, I usually go through a book really quickly, like 1 or 2 days, if it's really good. But this took me like 2 weeks, and that's not normal for me, really. But yeah, anyway, I think it was good. So you should read it. Yeah. Alright, so let's talk about the specifics of the books now. This is the spoilers section, so all you people who haven't read the book, just go away. Okay, we're gonna talk. Alright. So, like I said, the way that they didn't develop Arya's character beforehand, like before she met Perry and everything, like, I really want to know, like, when like Paisley came into the picture in the beginning of the book, I was like, oh, Paisley, okay, let's see where this goes. Let's see where her character development comes into view. Nope, and then Veronica Rossi's like, nope, sorry, yeah, we're just gonna kill Paisley right there. You're not gonna know her at all. I'm like, oh, okay, kill somebody off right in the beginning of the book. That's fine with me. I thought like Paisley was really gonna be an important part of the book, but no, she wasn't. Okay, moving on to the character of Talon. Talon, I was upset that he was taken away. Like, you're supposed to be heartbroken that he's gone and taken from Perry because Perry has such a strong bond with him, but really I wasn't feeling it that much, just because I don't think there was any character development with him either. There wasn't a lot of character development that I can base my feelings off of them and see how I feel about them as a person. And I didn't really feel the angst that Perry was feeling when Talon was taken from him. Oh, and Soren. Soren's just a crazy person with that LDS, whatever that lettering was for that disease that he had with all the people in the pods that were getting it. He was just a crazy person. I just want to kill him off. I just want to kill Counselor Hess off. They irk me so much. But there was one character that I loved a lot. I love Roar. He was just such a funny and great character. He reminded me a lot of Finnick Odair. And Finnick Odair is one of my favorite characters in the Hunger Games. I adore him so much. And Roar just reminds me of him so much. He has that, like, cocky, I know I'm good looking kind of thing, and all of that. And I just loved him. I thought it was interesting that the the 5 senses, were heightened because of the Aether Storms. And it was intoxicating the outsiders' bodies and mutating them into these people whose senses were heightened in a sense. Like Perry, he had 2 senses. He was a skyer and a seer, so he had high smell and sight, and his smell was really strong, and he could smell feelings, and I thought that was such a cool thing. And like how Roar could hear thoughts by touching people. Oh, and when I found out Arya was an odd, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, see where that goes. But another thing that kind of annoyed me is that everything happened so quickly. It wasn't a gradual development, especially Perry and Arya's relationship. At first, they hated each other's guts more than anything in the world. And then, okay, moving on, and Perry's like a very shy person, and he doesn't like to talk to Arya. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I want to kiss you now. Okay, okay, okay. It just all felt really rushed. That's how I felt. I don't know how you felt, but I don't know. I guess there's like something in the air in the pods that stops growth in certain areas, like how Arya said that their fingernails never grew because it was unnecessary. Like they got rid of all the unnecessary kind of things like growing your fingernails or growing your facial hair, and it's like it never happened. And so what they also did was made the people in the pods infertile, as in they weren't able to have kids and they didn't menstruate. Oh my gosh. Okay, this might sound weird, but you don't know how excited I was when Arya got her period. Like, it was just something really funny to me, the way that they made it. Like, she thought she was dying. I was laughing hysterically. But I was wondering, because I read The Host not that long ago, and it really made me wonder, never, ever have I heard YA fiction novels speak once about periods or anything like that, in that sense of hygiene and everything, what goes on behind the scenes when all of this other crazy and creepy stuff is going on. Like, you're stuck underground for how long and you never get your period, or they never talk about your period in the sense in The Host, or in other senses like in the Hunger Games, it's like, okay, you never get your period, okay, that's cool. But I was so excited when they mentioned that in Under the Never Sky. I think it worries myself how excited I was about menstruation, but I really was, because it's never mentioned, and I was glad it was mentioned because it makes the story more real. That's how I feel. And the way that they characterized it, how Arya reacted to it, was really funny and interesting to read about. But I liked that too. Another character, Vale, I was so upset with Vale. Like, you can't do that to the people that you're trying to take care of. You can't do that to your tribe. You think it's the best for your tribe, but giving up your son and giving up other children in your tribe to get food, that's just not right. I just don't understand that. It irked me so much. And then when Perry claimed Bloodlord, when he killed Vale, that was one of the few instances where I felt some emotion, and I was like, this is just heartbreaking, and everything. He had to kill his brother because he was doing this, and it just, that was one of the points where I got a little emotional, because I'm a very emotional person, and so I'm especially emotional when I'm reading about fictional characters. That is one of the things I based off of while reading Under the Never Sky, basing it off of my emotions and how I reacted to these things. Because books aren't always happy and smiles and perfect and everything like that. And so when you have like horrible things happen, and deaths and despair and broken homes and loves lost and everything like that, it makes the story more real. And when it makes it more real, it makes the story a better story. You know when it's a good story when you feel emotions other than happiness, like anger and sadness and despair. And that was one of the things I based it off of while reading Under the Never Sky. And so when I didn't get any true emotions from it, that was one of the things where I didn't really get invested in this story. I think, yeah, that's all I have to say for this book, Under the Never Sky, by Veronica Rossi. You still should read it. I think it was really good. For the people who have read it, tell me what you think of what I said about the books, and leave your own comments in the comments down below, that doodly doody thingy. And I really want to know what you thought of this book. What were your favorite parts of the books and everything? You know, my favorite part was when she got her period, but that's just me. So I will see you guys next time. Right now I'm reading another book for book club that I'm probably going to be finishing really soon. It's really good, and I'll make a video really soon. And I will see you next time. I love you guys. DFTBA. Bye-bye.